Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Week 4, start sits, player profiler, Chuck Bass in the house doing things Sunday morning.
You're not ruling anything out.
Good morning. Sunday morning. We have a responsibility.
We have a responsibility to you, the viewers, to get those lineups locked, loaded, and ready to go. It is week 4, make or break week. I've got 3-0 teams that I want to know are legit. I've got 0-3 teams that I want to fucking bury. Tired of them. The theme of today's show is going to be no broke boys, no floor plays today, guys. I don't want any of that shit. I don't need Romeo Dobbs in my lineup catching 6 passes for 30 yards and no touchdowns. We're going to be doing all-star plays only. I'm tired of everything else, so let's get to it. You're tired of hearing me ramble. What's up, Greg McDonald? Happy to have you, buddy. Greg, we're going to be doing things right today. Busty, Keenan Allen or George Pickens, half PPR. This is a fun one. We're going George Pickens while CeeDee Lamb is out over almost everybody. And it's not because I think he's supremely talented. It's not because he catches a mean one-handed pass when he quits on routes. We're talking about fun plays. George Pickens is going to have a long touchdown today. Dak is out for revenge against a pretty damn good Packers defense. Don't get me wrong, but the over-under in this game is 47.5. So Vegas believes that, despite this Packers defense being pretty damn good, this is going to be some version of a shootout. Now, is that 35-7 Packers? Possibly so, but that's good. That's what you want if you're still trying to get points out of this Pickens motherfucker. I love Keenan Allen. I think he's the only receiver in the league who has 60 yards and a touchdown in every single game. But we just got to play Pickens while Lamb is out, guys. That's the kind of shit I'm into. You're probably looking at the screen right now. You're like, what is this fucking prison that you're in right now? I am live from Nashville. I'm on tour, on vacation, having fun, extremely hungover. I got my coffee. I've got my Roger Goodell right behind me. Let's get to some more start sits. Okie dokie. What do we got here? Who's up next? G-Hop wants to know, Keon Coleman or Matthew Golden, half PPR. It's Matthew Golden week, guys. We've been holding out for this one for 3 weeks now. He has the most unrealized fantasy points of any wide receiver, rookie, or veteran. And I just feel like with a full week of Jaden Reed being out and not having to play the Cleveland Browns defense, which is turning out to be one of the 2 to 3 best defenses in the league, I think that it's going to be the Matthew Golden. I'm not going to say a breakout game because I don't think he's going to be a weekly addition to your lineups going forward. But you are going to at least feel a little bit better about him. Keon Coleman has had to come back down to earth the last 2 weeks. Games that with Josh Allen has played very well and thrown the ball well. Keon Coleman is not putting up points. So it's a who's open game there, and it's not often Keon Coleman. Drew said, Chuck, you're destroying the game. Yes, I am a content destroyer, not a content creator. I appreciate that. I need to cut a player. Who am I cutting? Chris Rodriguez, Kyle Monangai, or Ray Davis? I think you're probably keeping the upside here with Davis and Rodriguez. I just don't think that the Bears rushing attack is going to be a backfield you want a piece of this year. So I'm probably going with Kyle Monangai there. He finally got a little bit more work last week, and he just didn't do shit with it. And that was, it's that team's going to go as Caleb goes. DeAndre Swift is still getting an embarrassing amount of touches. So you're playing the ceiling game with that one. And, your floor guys like Davis, Chris Rodriguez, you're just praying for an injury. Kyle Monangai, it looks like even if he gets the touches, not going to be much. So you just hope that there's going to be something there with them. Tad HG Mahoney wants to know, quick question, Mariota or Dart? Now we're talking, guys. These are usually week 11 questions, and we're getting them in week fucking 4. I love it. Jackson Dart is just a quarterback's quarterback. You take one look at the guy, and he looks like AI. It was like, hey, give me Argentina and Germany's ideal version of an NFL quarterback. Boom. Jackson Dart comes right out. And then, of course, you've got Marcus Mariota, who is playing pretty well, playing like he was still at Oregon. I don't love the matchup against the Falcons, but, the Falcons got their shit pushed in last week by the Panthers. But you look at Bryce Young's stats, they're not very compelling. So I still think that defense has a little bit of fire in them when their quarterback is not turning the ball over like a fucking idiot. Chargers defense is good, but I don't think it is going to prevent Jackson Dart for not rushing the ball 6 times for 60 yards. So I'm taking a flyer on the rookie there. We're going for the ceiling play. Mike wants to know, full PPR, Drake London, JMO, or Kirk. What the fuck is happening to our lives, guys, when we've got 2nd-round pick Drake London actually being considered to be benched with 6th-round pick Jameson Williams, 5th-round pick, or probably, I don't know what, near late-round pick in Christian Kirk. And I'm not saying you're wrong. for asking me this question. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this because we're not getting shit for fuck from Drake London lately. Jamison Williams, always capable of popping off. And then Christian Kirk, 8 targets last week, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of he's going to end up being a PPR. What's the term for somebody that he's like a PPR last call. The bar lights come on at the bar and you're like, okay, I'm going to take me home because I know I'm going to get laid. How quality of a lay is it? I can't say for sure. It depends on your tax bracket, zip code, all kinds of stuff like that, credit score. I'm probably going Drake London, though, here. Drake London has a bye week next week. So if we don't get something out of this fucker this week, that means you will have started the season with 5 straight no-nos on your second-round pick, maybe even first-round pick, depending on how bullish some of you guys are. So I'm just banking on, they have to fucking right this train. I trust the offensive ecosystem. I don't trust the quarterback necessarily, but I trust the team who's feeling a little bit of the hot seat right now. So Drew wants to know, start Bill or Travion Henderson? The season is so fucking funny, guys. A guy that nobody even knew in July, or the most hyped rookie coming into a season since I can remember. I'm probably going with Henderson this week. It's not a terribly good matchup for Bill. That Falcons run defense has been pretty good. Henderson is just look, man, if fucking Ramondre Stevenson's going to fumble 2 times in a game, two piece, and then Antonio Gibson's going to do the same thing, and they don't give this guy fucking work this week, you can probably cut him. I mean, you're not going to cut him, and I wouldn't cut him either. But you know what I mean? Where you look at him and you're like, I want to get this guy off my fucking team. Let's go Henderson. Let's have I don't think either one of these guys are going to have a big game, but I do like Henderson's potential floor in this one. So let's go on to our next one here. We've got Joseph wants to know, Woody Marks or Miles Sanders start at running back. My team is so hurt. Yeah, buddy, I feel you on that one. I have Tracy and Connor is dead. Connor is dead. RIP. Let's have a little for James Conner here, guys. James Conner was always there when you needed him. Now we have to be there for him, especially live on air. I have Tracy as well. Dobbins is my other starter. This is a tricky one. Miles Sanders, he's looked decent, but he's got a brutal matchup. And then, of course, you've got Woody Marks taking on the Titans, which the Titans is no cakewalk either from a defensive standpoint, but I do like his involvement. He's been more involved in the offense every single week. They're not getting a whole lot of Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb hasn't looked like dust or anything, but his only relevant rush so far this season was the Buccaneers quitting on a play and letting him score so they could get the ball back. So going with Woody Marks on that one just for some receiving potential. Kales wants to know, black coffee, my man. I know there's no other way to go, guys. When you drink like I do, your internal organs cannot afford any more additives to whatever you're consuming. So no almond milk, no soy milk, nothing like that. We're just going pure beast mode. Drew wants to know, half PPR but tight end premium, Christian Kirk or David Njoku. I'm probably going with Christian Kirk on this one. I just haven't loved the Njoku involvement, especially how Fannon's being used. Tillman's still looking nice. They're forcing the ball to Judy, even though Judy hasn't looked great this year. I don't know how much more Joe Flacco we're going to get. He's pretty much bottom of the NFL in every single metric. I mean, he can still sling it, don't get me wrong, but they're not getting anything out of this. So I know they got the win last week, but their offense is it's not great. They're going up against the Lions who, they gave up 24 to Lamar Jackson, which is probably signs of a good defense if you're only giving up 24 to Lamar Jackson. So let's go with Kirk on that one. I also like the matchup against that Titans secondary. Ethan wants to know, haven't seen a phone with a cord since my Bears were contenders. Yeah, I know. Doesn't it feel good? If anybody has a number of an ex-boyfriend, don't get me wrong, I will dial it from this phone right now. Marvin Harrison Jr. really put me in a hole this last week on Thursday Night Football, and my money has been pouring out of my mouth since then. I've texted almost 70 exes, guys. So I'll call one this morning on Sunday morning, and I'll tell them that I love them, and they'll be very confused, and I'll be a happy guy. Greg says, I'm rolling with the ceiling play and starting Worthy. Should I play Waddle more? Addison is my wide receiver 2 in full PPR. I love the ceiling play in Worthy. I love that, especially considering the matchup that they're going to have against the Ravens. I think it's going to be points galore in that one. In Vegas, does Vegas agree with me on that one? Let's see here. What does Vegas have? The over-under on that one is 48.5, which, if I'm not mistaken, is actually the highest point total of the week. Tied with a few others, but it is not getting much better than that for defenses that are basically cover bands. So feel good about the Worthy play, even with the injury. And then, of course, you have you've got Waddle. See, more in Addison, I'm not feeling great about. I don't love the international games. I don't love wide receiver 2s in international games. And you're talking full PPR, Carson Wentz, all kinds of stuff. I would pass on that, and I probably end up going with Waddle here, playing Jets, who are just the kind of defense you just want to play wide receivers against. So let's go with Waddle in that one and just go all ceiling, baby. That's what I said in the start of the show. No broke boys today. No broke boys. Cameron Myers. Good morning, Cameron. Non-PPR. We got Tet. We got Addison. We got Jawan Jennings. Pick one. I'm going with Tet in this one. I think Tet has looked every bit as the top 10 pick that they took him with. No one else emerging from this offense. Jalen Coker still out. Bryce Young is still playing like a quarterback who is a absolute tiny piece of shit. But that's okay when you're getting the target volume that Ted's getting. You're doing work deep down the field. You're flying at certain points. So that's going to be all right with me. And like I said, I'm holding on Addison. I want to see how he fits in with Wentz. Jawan Jennings is going to be like 1 out of every 3 games is going to be worth starting, especially in non-PPR. So passing on that one. Darrell A wants to know, Ibuka, Pearsall, Ted, Ladd, or Sutton. We got to pick 2 of these guys. Jesus, what you should be doing the show if you've got a team like this. Why am I the one sitting in front of you guys wearing an NFL hat asking questions when you've got a team this good? I wouldn't stress a whole lot about this one. There's not a guy that I would even. I don't think you can go wrong here. My gut says Ibuka, especially with Mike Evans out, and Ricky Pearsall is going to be leading the league in passing yards. Those are pretty hard. Ted, of course, is a great play. Ladd's still looking good, but he's in that 3-man rotation. And Cortland Sutton. Let's go with ceiling here. Let's go with Ibuka, which is going to be just potentially, I'm feeling like a 10-target game is in the cards for Ibuka. He does have a tough matchup against that Eagles secondary, but you just know he's going to get the passing volume, and Baker is playing at an elite level. And then Tet, when it comes to Tet versus Pearsall, it's basically like, do you want one guy who's going to consume everything, or do you want the other guy who is doing work deep down the field? I'm probably going to go with Pearsall here. I just think specifically in this matchup and with Tet and all that jazz, there's just too much inconsistency in Bryce Young's game for him to get a blow up. He does have a nice matchup, but for the most part, I just like the ceiling play for Pearsall there. And let's ride the train while it's hot. Ruckus wants to know, no Jaylen Warren. Yes, that's a big one, guys. If you haven't seen the news yet, Jaylen Warren is inactive for this game in Ireland. So I don't know what the fuck the Steelers are going to do. Kenneth Gainwell, we're sitting here in 2025 and Kenneth Gainwell is about to have, is he going to have 15 touches? Are they going to finally do the old Caleb Johnson thing? There's nothing more fantasy football than a guy was hyped in the preseason like Caleb Johnson. He was benched for muffing a punt that he shouldn't have had any duty at in the first place. And then healthy scratch and then gets 15 carries today? Like, that is what this fucking bullshit is all about, guys. So, but that being said, let's get to the actual question. Who gives a shit? Full PPR, Swift at Vegas, Chuba at New England, or Godwin versus Philly. Now, this is interesting. If you're looking for who's going to just touch the ball the most in this one, it's probably going to end up being Chuba. He's just too vital to what they do there. Swift will probably have a decent amount of the workload itself, but what is Swift if not a dog shit player on a dog shit rushing attack? So let's go with Chuba there. I do want to monitor Godwin versus Philly. There's no player that I think a team loves in the entire NFL than the Buccaneers love Chris Godwin. I know he's coming back from injury, all that ankle shit. Ibuka's, emerging as a star, but Evans is out. McMillan is still out. Passing offense is going to have to funnel through somebody. And I think this Eagles offense is the kind that can pour it on this Tampa Bay secondary, which is vulnerable. Young players, talented players, but inexperienced. So this game could end up being a shootout, and I would love to know what Vegas says about it. Vegas has this as a dogfight, 44.5. Eagles favored by 3.5, but Baker Mayfield, like I said, still playing great. Probably 5 or 6 targets at least for Godwin. What ends up happening with those, I'm not sure, but just keep an eye on your boy there. Heartburn wants to know, with Warren being out, start Braylon Allen. No, never starting Braylon Allen. Bill, Dowdle, or pick up Chris Rodriguez. Dowdle's an interesting one here with Chuba being a little banged up. I know I just recommended Chuba in that last one, but if you're looking for, of all these, what's the best scenario here, probably is going to end up being Rico, only because Chuba's a little banged up. Traditionally, I would go Bill there because I love him, but that matchup is not great. That's going to be a dogfight as well, 43.5 implied point total. I just think that's going to be a low-scoring game, and I just, with Rodriguez getting, 10 or what was it, 11 carries last week, Jeremy McNichols busts off the kind of run in the NFL that makes you go, man, if I had drank a little bit less and gotten my shit together, I might have been able to play like that kind of run. You just don't feel great about who's going to get the hot hand. They gave Bill a mercy goal line look last week. So I just don't know what's going on there. I do know that Dowd will be involved. They can't do anything but run the ball in Carolina. You don't know yet about Kyle. Yeah, I mean, that could be. There's a lot of things we don't know about. 1 QB, half PPR, Chris Rodriguez or Ramondre Stevenson, and Gino or Mariota. Man, I'm going to be so fucking annoyed if it's another Ramondre Stevenson week. Like, I just don't want to live in a universe where this guy is held back, Trevion Henderson, for his lack of development, I guess you could say, professionally as a running back. And then he gets the fumble twice and then still gets the rock the next week. Like, I might put on a heavy coat and walk into the ocean if that ends up being something that comes to actuality. So maybe in that scenario, I'll take the potential 10 carries for Rodriguez again and just hope that those are a little bit, he's more involved. And then Gino or Mariota. Gino is the Tampax plug of the week. If you guys didn't see it on Twitter for me, if you need somebody to come in your lineups, it's Gino. He gets a Bears secondary that he can get torched at any given moment. Gino has had 3 games so far this season. 2 of them have been pretty good. One of them was dog shit, but he was playing the Chargers. And Gino's the kind of quarterback that can sling it against, let's say bottom half of the league or worse secondaries. He's working with a full deck right now. So let's go with Gino in that one. Don't love the matchup for Mariota. Chubb or Kenny Gainwell. Let's go Kenny Gainwell here. It just feels like I just think that the Steelers in Ireland, they're going to need something, and they're not getting anything out of Jalen Warren because he's inactive. How productive Gainwell is with these touches, I don't know. I can't say. I have not. Have we ever seen a full Kenneth Gainwell game? Has it actually ever happened, ladies and gentlemen? He was touted at one point as the next Austin Eckler at his time in Philadelphia. That obviously never materialized. But this is the guy that, he's got the athletic traits. Coaches like him. He's just, let's see what player profiler who I'm doing the show for right now. So if you guys have not liked, subscribed, all that fun stuff, make sure you click those bells buttons and give us the love because we're putting in the work and we have earned it. Kenneth Gainwell right now. And I know Evan was up early this morning, West Coast time, updating the rankings. Shout out Evan. He's ranked as RB 32 in our rankings this week. So that's ahead of guys. That's ahead of Ramondre Stevenson. That's ahead of Pacheco, ahead of RJ Carvey, ahead of Bill, ahead of Tootin, ahead of Tyler Algier. So if you're looking for somebody who's going to have an okay floor, but potentially rip off a nice, picture Aaron Rodgers at the 15-yard line and just a wide open dump off to Gainwell. That feels as in the cards of anything we're looking at this week. So let's keep cruising through here. Corey wants to know, pick one, half point, Pickens, Myers, Tet. Need 2. You need 2. You're going Pickens and you're going Tet. No broke boys today. Myers is a broke boy. Myers is going to get 10 targets for 60 yards, but we want those 20-point games. We want those 25-point games, and that's what Pickens and McMillan are going to give you. Jonathan Santiago wants to know, it's a beautiful name. I just wanted to shout that out. Start 2, Pickens, Sutton, or Tyreek in full PPR. I'm going to start relying on the rankings a little bit more here, guys. Pickens, we're playing. He's our wide receiver 9 on the week. That's going to be hot, juicy action. And something you guys remember about Pickens too is this is a contract year for him. So the opportunity and the motivation is as great as you're ever going to get from a player. And then let's see what we got. Tyreek is ranked as a wide receiver 18 this week, going up against the Jets. 15.4 projected point total in PPR. We like that matchup. We feel pretty good. Sutton has been there. He's still the dude in Denver, but they're clearly trying to work Troy Franklin in as much as they can. Haven't loved what I've seen out of Bo Nix. We have Cortland Sutton ranked as our wide receiver 24 this week. So let's play the upside there. Feeling pretty good about those. And then flex 1, Iomanor or JMO. Flexing JMO, buddy. That's just the opportunity is going to be what you wanted to see out of Jameson Williams last week. If you're trying to start him this week, is you wanted to see him not have a great game because that means that it's coming back around. That's the JMO cycle. Heartburn. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. Rolling with Dolan is on the TV right now. Aaron Dolan's got her best bets for the week on ESPN Bet. With Warren being out, start Braylon Allen, Bill. Okay, we already talked about that. We're already feeling pretty good. Oh, Rexman wants to know. Good morning. That's the Twitter boys are rolling in. We got multiple Twitter shout outs about to happen. I'll be happy to be the guy for you. I was offered Keenan Allen for Trevion Henderson, half PPR. I bit the T. Higgins bullet, but I have Odunze, Flowers, Waddle, so you're set, is what you're saying, and preemptively picked up Ionomar. I like the upside of Henderson in the flex moving forward. Yeah, if you're not selling Keenan Allen, if you're not selling Travis Etienne, if you're not selling these guys that are owning September but are not going to be guys you're going to be playing in November and December, what the fuck are you guys even doing, man? Come on, you're on a start sit show asking questions at 8:50 in the morning because you're a sicko, and so you should know better. You should know better than to keep these guys on your roster. I know they're playing well, and it's hard to sell guys that are playing well. I've been there, but I promise you, you will not regret getting these guys off of your team for young, hot assets. Flip them while you can. That's my advice to all you guys out there. I'll buy you a coffee. It doesn't work out, okay? But no additives. El Jefe wants to know, I need an upside play. Trey Tucker or Quentin Johnson? Quentin Johnson, baby. Trey Tucker. I needed 43 points from Trey Tucker to win my matchup last week, and I got 42. So I'm out on Trey Tucker. He did me dirty, guys. He did me so dirty. I do like Tucker against the Bears. Like I said, Gino gonna fucking sling that rock like nobody's business. But Quentin Johnson is he's the man of the year. He's the People's Sexiest Magazine. GQ's got him as the man of the year. I'm pretty sure they're going to release a Quentin Johnson 10 things I can't live without travel video coming up pretty soon. I just feel good about that. But rocking and rolling with the first round talent there. Caleb Johnson or Kareem Hunt. Man, this is a brutal one because you really don't want to play a single player from the Chiefs rushing attack, right? They're so low in EPA, success rate. They're just deep. But the thing is, Kareem Hunt's getting fourth down work. He's getting goal line work. So if you do think that Patrick Mahomes is going to move the ball up and down the field against this shitty Ravens defense, then you're looking for, what do you want? You want 11 points there, right? I don't think Caleb Johnson, as much as I do hope he has a nice game against this Vikings blind for his defense in Ireland, all that shit. The Coach Speak Index shout out is just dropping Mike Tomlin does not like this guy. Mike Tomlin is basically giving him like the Ice Cube 22 Jump Street treatment, where he's just sitting across the table staring at him because he fucked his daughter or something. Let's get back to the good stuff though. Dusky's in the house, guys. Dusky's the man. Love him. Absolutely handsome human being, beautiful voice, generous lover. All super chats must involve the number 69 or 420 in honor of all those exes he texted. That's right. If you guys have, let's get back to this. If you guys have an ex who needs texting, send me a DM on Twitter. Email chuckbassfantasy@gmail.com. I will reach out to them for you, and I'll do whatever you want me to do. That's the kind of guy that I am. I care about the fantasy working man because that's what I am, and that's who I care about. At RB, Cam Scattaboo or Chuba PPR. Guys, we're going Scattaboo here. Come on. And you guys know why. It has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with credit score. It has nothing to do with first in, last out. Tracy's out. He's the dude, and they love him. He's a crazy man. And let's see what Player Profiler has Cam Scattaboo ranked right now as the RB what? Give me to RB 19 on the week. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Projected 15.6 PPR points. That's what you want right there. And he's clearly matchup proof. I mean, you're talking about a very good front seven for the Kansas City Chiefs. And we saw the game that he rattled off last week. I know that Jackson Dart's coming in. We don't really know what the dump off is going to be. Russell Wilson touchdown to check down. That obviously inflated a lot of his value, but this is just an opportunity play here. He's got floor and ceiling baked into it. And that's the kind of shit that you want. That's the kind of shit that I get hard for. I don't know what you guys get hard for. Chat, tell me, what do you guys get hard for? I would love to know. It's important for me. It's important for the essence of the show going forward. Steven wants to know, PPR flex, Mooney, Marks, Parker, Washington, Kirk, or just give up? See, that's what I'm talking about. When you guys ask me this question, don't forget that there's a ripcord at the end. Fantasy suicide is it's something that doesn't get talked about enough, and maybe it's something we need to start raising more awareness for. In this one in particular, though, let's see here. Kirk. Let's go with Kirk. This Texans offense needs something. They need a hand because they're drowning and they need the cord, and Kirk might just be the guy to give it to them. The offense in Atlanta, while it hasn't looked good, And obviously Michael Penix is playing very poorly. They've been saying some negative things about I want to say Kyle Mooney, about Darnell Mooney. I would encourage just do some Googling on that one, and you'll see that the team's kind of poo-pooing him a little bit right now. So his play time has been a little inconsistent. I know he's coming back from injury, but they have not been loving him. And then Marks and Parker are just kind of ancillary guys. Kirk could be the guy for the Texans offense, even with Nico playing well. Andrew Temple wants to know, flex full PPR. Gainwell have any steam today? Doubtful. Yeah, seriously, that's the thing. That's like Cam Scatterboo gets to start. We love it. Kenneth Gainwell gets to start. We kind of hate him. So then you've got Montgomery versus the Browns, which is whatever. That's a brutal one. Kind of what you want to get stupid and stream Woody Marks. Guys, I support stupid in all its forms. All right. Browns defense, shut him down. I feel very okay if you want to bench Montgomery. Now, benching him for somebody like Woody Marks, who do you want to be would be my question there, right? Do you want to think about this matchup in 3 years? Because that's the kind of decision making that will allow you to get there. Like if you're like, man, remember when I played Woody Marks over David Montgomery? I mean, like if you're subscribed to Twitter, if you're verified and subscribed to Twitter Premium, that's the kind of tweet that could get you a few bucks. So yes, I support that. I support the thinking. That's big brain stuff, and we're going for big brain plays this week. Michael Lopez wants to know Kraft or Bowers in full PPR. This is what I'm talking about. Your second round pick or your what was Kraft, like a 9th, 10th, 11th round pick if you're going for it. Player profiler, just give you a little insight here. It has Tucker Kraft as the number 1 tight end on the week, 15.2 projected PPR points. Brock Bowers at 14.9. Obviously, Brock's still dealing with that injury that's limiting him. The Twitter sphere has been loving the Tucker Kraft breakout, you could say. Didn't have a big game last week, but like we said, playing against the Cleveland Browns, nobody has big games against them. I mean, I'm probably going with Bowers here, for being honest. I just love the matchup, love the talent. Kind of feel like he's due, which I know, there's no credible science behind he's due other than you just feel it in your gut. And I'm feeling a lot of things in my gut right now. Feeling a little tequila, feeling a little, what did I have last night? I had a Negroni with dinner. But I mean, Tucker, you can't go wrong here, but I'm probably playing my stud in this situation. But Boss 37 wants to know Keon Coleman in a likely blowout or Romeo Dobbs. So I opened the show with no Romeo Dobbs kind of plays today, guys. No broke boys with the theme of this morning show. We're going for ceiling only. And you got the Bills playing the Saints. And I mean, the Saints, God bless them. They are the polished turd. They're trying. The offense has been fun to watch, but the defense has been ass in a bag. So let's go with Keon Coleman, who I like him a lot more in this matchup as far as the ceiling play goes. Just I don't want 1 second of Romeo Dobbs, guys. I just don't. I'm not into it. Doesn't give me that tingling sensation down low that I'm looking for. Let's see here. Let's see what else we got. All right. Domo wants to go. Should I trade Travis Etienne? Yes. I don't even need the rest of the question. We're moving on. No, you wrote this out. I'm going to give you some love. I'll give you some love here. I'm going to give some love as well to the group, guys. We got a good boy in the house. Hey, you good boy. We trade Travis Etienne? Yes, we are. You trade Travis Etienne? Fuck Etienne, right? Yeah, he screwed us last year. We took him over Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry, didn't we? Yes, we did. Okay. That's just a little for the viewers, a little for the viewers action right there, just so I can give you all the good stuff now. Where were we? Okay, you wanted to know, for real, though, should I trade him for Tet and have PPR? Yes, I'm making that trade. My other RB, yes, what are we doing here? Yes, CMC, JT, Mason, Sharp, absolutely. Mike Evans, Pickens, Tyreek. Yeah, you want somebody with consistent target volume, and that's going to be Ted. So make the trade, baby. Mike Kinney wants to know, Dak or Gino, thanks for the show. Mike, great to have you here, buddy. Absolutely appreciate you guys. I know Gino was my Tampax plug of the week, but just to give you guys this pure numbers here, we've got Gino at 18 projected PPR points. Yeah, maybe he catches a pass. We've got Gino projected at 18 and then Dak at 16.9. I'll be honest with you guys. So obviously the matchup's brutal for Dak. Just haven't loved what I've seen out of what I thought was going to be a potential like 4,700 yard passer. I mean, I think Dak's not playing poorly, but I just thought we would have seen a little bit more out of him this year than we're getting. And then there's no Lamb in there as well. So let's go with Gino on that one. Boss also wants to know. Oh yeah, we already covered that one. I got you covered, my guy. Perdusky, the ocean is way more fun without a coat on. There's more motion in the ocean, baby. Shout out the ladies, man. SNL movie with Tim Meadows. Come on in, baby. The water's fine. All right. Juan Pena wants to know, need 3 spots with exclamation points. Yes, you do, baby. 1, 2, 3 flex spots. It's a lot of reading. Holy shit, that's a lot of reading for a guy who says hungover as I am right now, but I will give it my best. Quentin Johnson, Hollywood, Adams, Debo, Addison. Okay, in this one in particular, I'll just go with the names that I like. Quentin Johnson, Devontae Adams, and Debo. Love all 3 of them, especially with Terry out, Trey Tucker, all that. Yeah. Go with the big dogs in this one. Go with the brand names. QJ, DA, DS, Debo Samuel. And then running back, you've got Chubb and Henderson. Let's see here. And I don't love any of those plays unless you have to. You got Jacobs and JT, so you have the high floor, and then your tight end is Jawan and Kittle on IR. Love that. I've got a team very similar to that, and I'm 0-3, so fuck me. Jake wants to know half point PPR, DeAndre Swift or Judkins. Judkins, baby. Judkins all the way. If there's very few running backs I'm not playing over DeAndre Swift. I hate him with a passion. I haven't hated somebody like DeAndre Swift since my ex. And well, you guys will know about the X's on that one. But just to give you the Judkins projection here, we've got Judkins projected 13 full PPR points. He's the RB 28 on the week. Then the Lions defense is technically the number 1 defense in DVOA overall against the rush in particular. Let's see here. They're at negative 0.28. But I mean, I still feel like there's success to be had against them. They've played the Ravens, who I don't know what the hell is going on with Derrick Henry, but he has not looked great. They played the Bears, who didn't have an opportunity to run the ball, and they have fucking DeAndre Swift. And they played the Packers, and Josh Jacobs had a decent game against them. So I wouldn't worry too much against the matchup in general, because they can't do anything else. They're going to hold the Lions to low point total, and they're going to run the ball. If they playbook happened against the Packers last week, I would expect something similar against this week. Flacco or Browning. Oof, the fuck happened here, man? What the hell happened to you that you have to play Flacco or Browning? We're talking about the 2 lowest ranked quarterbacks. Is there no one else available? Man, you got Jake Browning projected 12.8 PPR points. Joe Flacco projected 13.6. So I'll lay on the I'm going to fall back on the player profiler rankings on this one. Is Spencer Rattler out there? Is Cam Ward out there? Is Aaron Rodgers out there? I would play any of those guys over either one of these. I mean, I know that you're probably encouraged. You know, Jake Browning is like a Ryan Fitzpatrick type. He's going to take shots. So if you're praying for just like a 200 yards and a touchdown, maybe he's your shot there, because, you know, Joe Flacco's got the Lions, which is no cakewalk either. But the thing is, like, Browning's playing the fucking Broncos, man. And the Broncos, they talk about who needs a get right game. It's the Broncos, and that's just the team to do it against. This is a shitty Bengals team. Heartburn says, thank you. Mwah, love you guys. Also, just real quick, a little housekeeping. After this show is over, which will be in about 30 minutes, I will be doing a start sit thread on Twitter. So come post your polls on there, and you won't just get answers from me. 35-year-old Irish, Israeli, and Russian male from Kentucky. You'll be able to get the wisdom of the crowd. So, you know, I've got, I think we're approaching 25,000 followers on Twitter, and I hear from them every single day, and I hear from their votes in particular. So you'll get a nice little poll action there, and I'll retweet all of those as well. So don't worry about your voice being drowned out by all the sex jokes, all the drinking jokes. I put you guys first above everybody. Smash that like button. That's right. Yeah, guys, don't forget to obliterate that like button. Subscribe, share. When you guys are at AA this week, talk about it, stand up and say, I know I had a couple beers and I shouldn't have, but also I found this great YouTube channel called Player Profiler, and they're spitting out hot stuff. They've got ranked dynasty rankings. They've got seasonal rankings. They've got weekly rankings. They've got DFS rankings, best ball, everything. Fast draft. Guys, fast draft is absolutely exploding right now. And let's shout it out while we're here. Why wouldn't I shout out the hottest new game in fantasy football?
Pour one out for an incredible best ball season. It was a breakout 2025 for Fast Draft, but now the NFL action has started. That means it's DFS season. That's right. You might think, oh, wow, DFS, I can't win DFS. Oh, but you can on Fast Draft. You just pick any 6 guys, and you put them in a handful of booster spots. There's no salary rubric you have to follow. You're not going up against thousands of killer bots in these tournaments? Oh, no. These are regular people grabbing their 6 favorite plays of the week, and that's all you have to do. And we post the ownership so that you can choose how much chalk you want. There is no drafting. It's called the Quick 6 Super Slam. The Quick 6 Super Slam is the signature DFS contest at Fast Draft. It is changing DFS. We are making DFS great again. So go to fastdraft.app and use your host promo code for a $50 deposit match. And let's go start drafting faster.
I have a show. I told you that. I told you I was doing a show at fucking 8 o'clock in. Oh, I gotta go. All right, bye. All right, let's get back to some start sits, guys. That's the good stuff right there. Make sure you are checking out Fast Draft. Make sure you are crushing that DFS. Shout out Chev, who brought home the money last week. Pickens worries me because of the matchup, and I don't think his role really changes, but a possible few extra targets. I do get that. We're just talking about in comparison to who else you have. It is a tough matchup for Pickens, tough matchup for this Dallas offense, but the thing is, Pickens is the kind of guy that can make plays even when he's covered, right? That's kind of his whole shebang. He is a good separator. He can win downfield. They're going to need splash plays, and he's the only guy that can give them splash plays. So I would just trust him. Or that's the worst thing you could possibly say. Don't trust him. Trust the situation. I will never say trust him. Player Profiler has George Pickens this week, guys, ranked ahead Flowers, ranked ahead of Nico, ranked ahead of Justin Jefferson. And I think it makes sense. So just go with the flow. Drew wants to know full PPR, Juwan Jennings or Calvin Ridley. Oh, fuck me in the ass. Calvin Ridley has been my least favorite pick in fantasy football this year. He's been extremely disappointing. I think Cam Ward's playing decent for a rookie. I think the opportunity has been there, and he just keeps letting us down. That being said, the fantasy cycle goes like this. You give him a break week 1 because it's week 1. Week 2, he lets you down, and you're like, damn. Hopefully week 3 is a get right game. Week 3 is the worst possible situation. And then you're saying, fuck this. I'm going to bench this guy. And what happens, guys? Week 4, they have 10 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown. I hate to say it. I think that's in the cards for Calvin Ridley today going up against his Titans offense. So Calvin Ridley, let's do it. Old Morton Robertson wants to know Bryce Young or Browning. Oh, God. Do you guys hate me? Like, do you fucking hate me? Like, what the hell is this? You guys are actually going to make me have to let's go to the clips.
You betrayed me. Did you tell the folks that? You bitch. Did you tell them? You fat piece of shit.
Like, what are you guys doing to me? Bryce Young, he's finally getting the scrambling involved last week, which was nice. Projected 16.7 PPR points going up against the Patriots. He's our QB 20 on the week, so I'm taking Bryce Young. I'll fall back on the hot rankings for that one. Let's get to our next question here. Jake wants to know, non-PPR, need a flex play between JCM. I don't know who JCM is. You talking about Bill? Because if it's Bill, yeah, baby. We got Bill, Gainwell, or Woody Marks. I'm probably, oh, man. I think somebody asked a very similar version of this question next week. In just non-PPR, I'm probably going with Bill here. Woody Marks isn't going to get the rushing volume. Gainwell is not going to get the rushing volume. Bill's going to be the only one that might get 10 carries. So let's go with Bill on that one. G-Hop wants to know PPR, Fannin or Colt Kmet. So Colston Loveland's out this week, which does affect the tight end rankings for Kmet pretty decently. I think it pushes him into, he's our tight end 20 on the week, projected 8.1 points. Nice matchup against the Raiders secondary. And then you got old Fannin here, who has not done a whole lot these last couple weeks, but he is still to be projected our tight end 15 on the week, so 9.1 points. Let's go with Fannin, who their Browns are going to need to keep pace the best they can with Detroit. Are they going to be able to? I'm not sure. But I still like Fannin in that one as well. Slashy said, morning, boys. Slashy has showed up for every single stream that I've done. You know why? Because he's a damn hero. And we love damn heroes around here. So let's support our fantasy troops. Come on, what else is giving you a Tommy Boy references in the morning? Got to hit that sub. That's right, baby. Tommy Boy is a great movie, guys. And I actually do I not have a Tommy Boy clip? Oh, man, I apologize, guys. Somebody submitted one to be played. He's going, not so much here, not so much here, right here. And that would have been a perfect opportunity. So instead, we'll fall back on someone else. I'll get some more clips involved because I know that's what you guys really want. So Kyle Singer wants to know, in full PPR, Shakir, Goodwin, Dobbs, pick 2. really makes you wonder what the hell happened to our lives when this is the kind of questions we have to ask here. In this one in particular, though, in full PR, we're going with Shakir and we're going with Godwin. I will never recommend Romeo Dobbs, not even one time. It's Selly Text 2 wants to know, with Warren out, do I start in my flex? Bill, see, that's what I'm talking about. See, who needs to take notes here? We're going to need to go up a little bit here and see. Somebody needs to take notes on how to submit these questions because we got Bill as an actuality right here, and that's what I'm talking about. More Bill all the time. Bill, Diggs, or Hollywood. Yeah, I mean, never starting Hollywood ever. He's in the Romeo Dobbs category for take a fucking hike, bozo. And then Diggs, a little disappointed out of what I've gotten from Diggs this year, guys. I really thought this was somebody who had wide receiver 2 potential, but they're just spreading the ball around way more than I would have expected them to in New England. So until we see a little bit more target consistency, or not just target consistency, but actual reception volume from Diggs, I'm probably going to lean on not going his way. We have him as a wide receiver 55 this week, 10 projected PPR points against the Panthers, which, of course, the only thing the Panthers can do decently is defend the pass, with Horn playing very well right now. So let's go with Bill. Let's go with the volume. Full PPR 14-man. Yep. Still feel pretty similarly about that. Geist wants to know Dak versus GB or Tua versus NYJ. Let's go with, Tua, after those dumbass comments he had about Cam Newton coming off. Let's see somebody come off the street play. I just can't in all good consciousness support Tua and everything he has going on. I mean, I know the comparison here is Dak playing this Packers secondary, but I'm going to go with Dak versus Green Bay. Just the floor. No, what did I say, guys? No broke boys, and Tua is as broke as they get. So we're going with ceiling play here. I think Dak is the ceiling play. What's up? Sheldo wants to know, what's up? Good morning. Good morning to all of you all. How do you feel about Justin Herbert or Drake May? This is like blonde or brunette, guys. Can't go wrong. I just feel like Herbo may not have to do that much. May has the rushing floor here. This is where I'll once again fall back on those beautiful player profiler rankings that we have right now, which has Justin Herbert at QB6 with 21.3 points. And then you've got Drake May sitting a little bit more. Where'd you go? Oh, is he higher? Ooh, are we hot? Do we have him higher? No, we don't. We have Drake May sitting at wide receiver. Oh, my God. Quarterback 4 on the week, 22.2 points with a double thumbs up. Let's go with Drake May here with the same passing floor as Herbert this week, but a much higher rushing floor. So let's go with Drake May. Love that one. Christian Kirk, Tootin, or Hollywood Brown in half PPR. In half PPR, I'm going with Christian Kirk on this one. I've really liked what I've seen out of Tootin, and I do know that at some point he is going to be the guy there, but we have him as the running back 37 on the week, and Hollywood Brown does not exist. So let's go with Kirk on that one. Cooper wants to know, Hendo or Pollard. I got to be honest, guys. Is anyone else disappointed in the Tony Pollard production? When they announced that Spears was going to be on IR for the first 4 weeks, I thought I had a back end RB1, maybe at the very worst, like the RB18. And it just has not been there. Brian Callahan somehow still has a job. They've moved. He's passed play calling duties on, which how fruitful that ends up being is beyond me. But we've got Pollard as the RB26 on the week at 13.8 full PPR points. And I know Hendo, is this the Hendo week? Hendo's right behind him, RB26 and RB27 with 13.8 full PPR points. So I guess give me Tony Pollard and hope that this new guy that's coming in to call plays for them doesn't have his head all the way up his ass. Feel pretty decently about what can happen there. So let's go with Hendo and just hope that the production is there. Because after this, God, I don't know how many. You're probably not going to be asking about many more Tony Pollard questions going forward. I got you covered, bro. Patrick wants to know, is Caleb Johnson worth rostering out? Yes. With Jalen Warren out and Kenneth Gainwell being the only other guy and Trey fucking Sermon as RB3, he's worth rostering just in case he does have that game that we're looking for. And then, things have to be forced upon the Steelers offense going forward. Is Caleb Johnson worth rostering now? Yeah, I already answered that. Can you guys tell that I'm hungover? Sivan Leg wants to know, Tua or Wentz? What the fuck? Tua or Wentz in 2025?
See, look how mad you are.
I'm not mad.
That's how I feel when I see that question. Like, I want to be calm, cool, and collective, and then I see ones like this. It's really hard not to get angry. I'm in that one in particular. I'm probably going with Tua. Don't love Wentz in Ireland going up against Brian Flores. I hate to say it. I can't believe I'm actually recommending it, but I am. That's the way she goes, boys. I didn't think Wentz looked very good last week. Jordan Mason carried that team to the finish line because Jordan Mason is the one of the 3 to 5 greatest running backs in the history of professional sports. Stand by it. G-Hop, you got another one for us. Herbert or Fields? Thanks. I mean, God, I'm probably going with Herbert on this one. It's a nice matchup for Fields. I know he's coming back from concussion, but I mean, does him coming back from concussion mean he's not going to run as much, which is the only thing he has value-wise? I mean, I know that's galaxy brain shit. Like, what are we doing here, guys? And it is a nice matchup for him against the Miami Dolphins defense that, I could start for right now. So, but still, Herbert playing at the top of his game, playing against Giants. Let's take that one. Let's go with the easy money. Fred Warren wants to know, full PPR, sit one, BTJ, Pickens, or Olave. Oof. Hard to sit Olave in full PPR, considering that's like, he's leads the league in targets, but it's like 40th in like fantasy points. He's our wide receiver 23 on the week, projected 14.2. Tough matchup for Brian Thomas Jr. against the 49ers with how good Lenore is playing. So I'm going to go with my gut here on this one, and I'm going to sit Brian Thomas Jr. I'm going to play Pickens and Olave. How does that feel for fantasy analysts, guys? Is anyone else doing that? I assure you they are not. That's what my gut's telling me. Mike wants to know, BTJ, Worthy, or Addison in full PPR? This is a boner question right here.
You know what? The only thing I am worried about is getting a boner.
I'll rank these 1, 2, 3. Worthy is absolute ceiling play. Love that. I think he's going to be pretty decent. BTJ is right in the middle. It's kind of like the volume will be there. What he does with it, I'm not sure. And then Addison is like, could have 2 targets in this game with Wentz coming back. I have no idea what's going on there. So I'm holding on Addison. Just want to see how he fits into this offensive ecosystem. TSB World wants to know, howdy. Love a good howdy. Howdy need a flex cuz Jalen is out. Should I go with David Montgomery, Stephon Diggs, or Jordan Addison in full PPR? Brutal matchup for Addison going against that Browns front. Stephon Diggs has got a nice matchup. He's got an okay matchup. And then Jordan Addison full PPR here. Ceiling play here is going to be Montgomery just for the goal line work. Floor play will be Diggs just because he's going to have the targets. And then, like I said, Addison is probably the lowest of the bunch here. Oh, the guy here, Big Z in the house with the kissy emoji. Do we have a clip for Big Z here? Do we have a clip for Big Z? Let's see here. What do I got here? Where's the happy clip? Yeah.
Oh, I love fantasy football, and I love being a future champion.
That's how I feel when Big Z's in the house commenting on my streams. Pardusky wants to know, Slash is the new guy in the corner puking it. Yes, he is. Oh, my God. Would you trade Chase for Garrett Wilson and Judkins if you're weak at running back? Yes. I'm trying to get Jamar Chase off of all of my teams. I'm trying to get T. Higgins off of all of my teams. I'm taking Chase Brown out back and I'm shooting him right in the fucking face, metaphorically speaking, of course, just because there's no value to be had on this Bengals offense right now. I'm sorry, guys. That's the honest truth here. G-Hop wants to know, pick 2, half PPR. G-Hop's setting the record for questions asked by a single user, and that's makes me fucking really cool. I feel great about that. I want to answer any and all questions we got here. 0.5 PPR, Golden, McMillan, or Ridley. If I'm picking 2 here, I'm going Golden and McMillan. No broke boys. Calvin Ridley. No, Calvin Riddlin. That's how I feel about it. That'll be the new name going forward. He's a broke boy. So Matthew Golden, breakout game for him potentially. And then Tetara McMillan. Love the floor play for him as well. I know you just said no broke boys, but like Tet's floor is like the 14th floor, and there's no broke boys on the 14th floor. He's going to get that target volume. James Janor wants to go, already rostering Caleb in an RB pinch. Start him or Harvey. Yeah, I'll take the play here on Caleb over Harvey. I'll believe it when I fucking see it with this RJ Harvey experiment in Denver. It is a very, very nice matchup. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they could run all over them all day, but that could be fucking J.K. Dobbins running all over them all day. It could be Bo Nix scrambling over them all day. I have yet to see that RJ Harvey is integral to this offense. So and I know you could make an even worse case against Caleb Johnson, but I refuse to believe that Kenneth Gainwell is going to shoulder the load for this team in Ireland. I refuse. there's a lot of things I believe in, guys. I believe 9/11 was an inside job. I believe that everything that we have heard about Epstein Island is true. I believe that Firefest had good intentions and it was just mismanaged. But I do not believe that Kenneth Gainwell is going to be the play here. And I just this could be the time to get in on Caleb Johnson. This is it.
It's only a matter of time before someone else sees this investment. We have to act now.
How do you know the bonds are worthless?
That's how I feel. I feel like I am Michael Berry, and you guys are that guy on the other end. All right, let's get back to the other one. He wants to know Kraft or Warren in full PPR. Ooh, play both. I'm playing full PPR. Who do you have in your flex? I'm playing both of these guys if I can. We're talking about Tucker Kraft, the number 1 ranked tight end on Player Profiler this week, and then Tyler Warren is number 2. We got 15.2 projected points for Kraft, 14.9. I'm playing both, and I'm not picking in between them. I won't do it. And then flex full PPR, Gainwell, JMO, Downs, Taekwon, or JCM. In full PPR, give me JMO. And then, man, I really would prefer a better matchup for for Josh Downs, going up against the Rams. But the thing is, I do think the Rams are going to put up points in this game. And I think the Colts are finally going to have to keep pace with the team. So if that's the case, maybe a 7 for 70 is in the cards for old Joshy Downs there. So give me Downs with Worthy coming back. I don't know what happens with Thornton, Bill in full PPR, not so much. CD Ham 21 wants to know Gainwell or JCM in standard scoring. I want to shout out standard scoring real quick as being underrated. There's a lot of arguments against full PPR when it comes to like ethical hooping. Standard scoring is just like bare knuckle boxing. And I hate it seeing it poo-pooed on Twitter. So shout out standard scoring. There's always a place for you at the table. There's always room at the end for standard scoring. Gainwell or JCM. In this one in particular, give me Bill. And like I said, I just dumped on Kenneth Gainwell. I mean, this is how I would feel if Kenneth Gainwell.
It's not supposed to hurt. I thought.
It's all Bill all the time around here. All of your comments are seen by me, by the way. So these beautiful emojis you guys are bringing to the table does bring sunshine to my heart. Drew wants to know Woody Marks or Pacheco in full PPR.
Julian. I don't know where I felt like I get a little drink around here, do you, bud?
God bless the man who has to decide between this. Give me Woody Marks. I'm done with Pacheco. We're out on him. Mace Rinley, one of the legends of the game showing up this morning, wants to know, should I start slow with Keystone or just go straight to the IPAs for morning games? Well, it depends. Is it a regular IPA? Is it a New England IPA? Is it a hazy IPA, double IPA? I love Keystone. I was a big Keystone drinker in college. The 30 racks they sell in Alabama were some of the fondest times of my life. I was a broke boy for many, many nights, shotgunning Keystone Lights early in the morning, late in the afternoon, all kinds of fun stuff. I'm starting with Keystone. It's a long day. We got a lot of football ahead of us. Football starting in 7 minutes. So what I would do is I would start with the Keystones, and then at the halftime of the early games, bust out an IPA, go for a walk, come back, and then dive back inside. Slashy said, I'm starting a disgusting amount of Kenny Gainwell. Yeah, any amount of Kenny Gainwell is a disgusting amount, and puking his guts out. Mason also wants to know Drake May or Daniel Jones. God, what a fucking question in 2025, man. I got to have a fun one for this, right? Yeah, I do.
The fucking man.
Holy shit, I'm gonna come.
We've got Drake May projected 22.1 points. And then Danny Dimes Jones projected at 18.7. So I'll fall back on the player profiler rankings there. Let's go with our boy Drake May. Let's also go with our next question here. Kraft, we already did that one. Here we go. Ooh, we're getting into multi-positional flex plays here, guys. Worthy, JCM, or Mark Andrews in full PPR. Give me Worthy, baby. I just love the blow-up game. I do not think that Mark Andrews is back. I think he was very fortunate to get those touchdowns last week. Perfect throw by Lamar, and then a garbage time touchdown after that. I think that a lot of people are going to fall back into like what happened last year, right? Where he was just an enormous piece of shit to start the year, droppable in many formats, and then went on to have a touchdown in like 12 of his last 14 games or something. I don't think that happens again this year. So let's go with flex. Let's flex Worthy there in full PPR. That feels good. Joshua Rosen wants to know Golden or Trevion Henderson. So you want to know two of the most disappointing rookies I've ever seen.
No, Dewey, you don't want this. Get out of here.
This is a sicko question, and I love sicko questions. Let's go with full PPR Matthew Golden. Let's go with points against this Dallas secondary, which is, if I'm not mistaken, are they 32nd against the pass in EPA? Let's see here. 31st. The only team that is worse than them against the pass right now is the Miami Dolphins. Let's see here. They're also 28th in passing success rate. So you just know Green Bay is going to operate here. I do think there will be some opportunities for Henderson to have a nice game, but the Matthew Golden breakout game is coming. And this is the week. You could not draw up a breakout game better than this one. He's got Eberflus, who coaching the defense, who Jordan Love is already familiar with. So I think that they'll just scheme this one up. If we had Golden has 5 catches for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns, I'm not batting an eye. G wants to know. Let's take a little sipperoo here. Pollard, Judkins, or Metcalf in my flex full PPR. Let's rank them. How about that? As far as the ceiling play here is Judkins, just because I think that he's going to get all the opportunity in the world. They're going to keep it low scoring. They're going to try to, at least, and he's going to get volume. And then you've got Pollard somewhere in the middle there, and then Metcalf at the very, very bottom, just because I don't love anybody going up against, like I said, this Vikings defense is fucking insane. They're playing out of their minds. They're creating turnovers. Aaron Rodgers is not going to take a lot of chances against them either. The Vikings let's go back to EPA per play here. The Vikings are number 1. They are so far number 1 against the pass that the Jacksonville Jaguars are number 2 in EPA against the pass. And they are closer to the 29th ranked team in the Detroit Lions than they are the Vikings at number 1. That's how far and away better the Vikings have been against the pass. So let's sit any and everybody we can going up against them. Feels like the right play. Evan Joyce wants to know Worthy or Tootin or Montgomery. Gainwell need to here. Let's go with Worthy, and let's go with Tootin. Tootin. It's getting a little more. He's getting more and more involved every week. He's involved in the run game, involved in the pass game, like that. And then Worthy's a fun ceiling play. Montgomery and Gainwell they're just low floors this week. I just don't love Montgomery's matchup, and I don't love that game. I don't even love who Gainwell is as a person. His core, his psyche. Michael wants to know flex Trevion Henderson or Worthy. Let's go with Worthy on that one. I think that the Chiefs are going to move the ball all day. Just to give you guys a little insight on Worthy's projected point total here on Player Profiler, we have him he's not ranked very high. He is the wide receiver 46 on the week, but I think a lot of that is just injury hesitation. 10.9 projected PPR points, but we just don't know how Henderson's going to be involved. I don't trust this coaching staff. And I just say that specifically against somebody like Worthy that I do know they trust, that I do know will be involved and will be involved often. So they're looking for anybody to come on the field and take away these Hollywood Brown production usage, all that stupid stuff. Nathan wants to know Superflex League, thinking about sitting Hurts versus the Bucks and starting Danny Dimes and Justin Fields. What do you think? I think that's a big brain move. Just to give you a little insight here. Jalen Hurts is the QB3 at Player Profiler this week. He is projected 23 points. The thing about this Bucs defense is I know they've played very well against Jalen Hurts in the past. Todd Bowles does kind of have the juice. He's got the magic formula for how to play him, but this Bucs defense is not terrific, guys. I'm wearing a Buccaneer. I'm not wearing my Bucs shirt today. What the fuck happened to me? I am a Buccaneers fan. I watch them intensely. This is a team that can be passed on. They're a bend, don't break defense to where you can move the ball up and down on them. They're going to play for big plays. They're going to play for turnovers. I just think this is the kind of Eagles offense too, that I know that they're very reliant on turning the chains, right? Like if you need 7 yards, they're going to get 9. But with AJ Brown, with Devonta Smith, with Dallas Goedert, their ability to take advantage of our linebacker play right now in coverage. Bucks have a lot of young players in the secondary. Antoine Winfield is a very high floor or high ceiling, low floor player. I mean, he can get got. I mean, I know he's one of the highest played defensive backs in the league, but he can get got as good as anybody. So I just have a gut feeling that Jalen Hurts is going to have a decent week and the rushing volume will be there. So I wouldn't big brain it too much. I don't love the matchup for Daniel Jones either. So let's go with Fields and Hurts. I feel like that's going to be the play. I'll buy you a coffee if that doesn't work out. What's up, bro? Should I start Derrick Henry, Bucky Irving, Jordan Mason, and Dobbins? My wide receivers. What are you asking here? Should I sit an RB for Tillman or Worthy full PPR? No, I would not do that. I don't love the merry-go-round that's going on in with this Browns passing offense. And Worthy, while I do think is nice, those running backs are guaranteed action right there. J.K. Dobbins, guaranteed action. Henry, guaranteed action. Bucky Irving, guaranteed action. Jordan Mason, greatest running back of all time. Franz wants to know, Dak, Penix, or Mariota, 4-point passing touchdowns. Let's go with Dak on that one. Colin wants to know, hold on, let me think here. Yeah. Let's go with Dak on that one. Colin wants to know PPR, Tootin or Downs. Full PPR, give me Downs in that one. Rob wants to know, what are we doing with DJM? God, what are we doing with DJ Moore? This is what I'm doing with DJ Moore.
If you could hand this one to my boyfriend.
Fuck you. Whiskey.
Moving in with my boyfriend.
Fuck
Ian.
you.
The boyfriend was saying the other day.
Fuck you.
I've got to get Scruffy back to my boyfriend and then
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Just not in on DJ Moore, guys. His touchdown last week felt it was a pity touchdown, I assure you. Player Profiler does have him ranked as a wide receiver 21 on the week at 14.3 full PPR points. But I'm selling. And just trying to find somebody with a little bit more good juju. Like if you could flip him, this is going to be so funny. If you could flip him for like Ricky Pearsall or maybe even DK Metcalf. Hell, I know that Brian Thomas Jr., people are as low on him as you could be. If you could flip DJ Moore for him, I would do that as well. I'm just trying to get out of anybody that's doing what DJ Moore's doing. The Dallas secondary is not great, Bob, if there ever was one. Yes, I agree. Why I don't have not great, Bob, as a clip is beyond me. I'll get some more. I promise, guys. AG wants to know Addison or Woody Marks. That's a pretty fun one here. Let's see what is Addison actually projected this week. Addison is projected 9.4 full PPR points, while Woody Marks is projected, I'm falling back on our math majors here at Player Profiler, 5.7. Now, if you are expecting a breakout game from Woody Marks, like you're hoping it's coming, like I would imagine it's now when the Texans are 0-3 and they're going up against a division rival and they might be able to do a little more than they have been. You know, Addison he's the mystery box player, right? Like what's going to happen? You know, the Steelers defense is very, very, very bad, not good. Their EPA against the pass is it not bad? It's 24th, which is not good at all. But I mean, I don't know. You know what? No broke boys. Let's go with Woody Marks on this one. Call it a gut instinct. Appreciate the insight, Nathan. Absolutely. Love you guys. I do want to say also, if you guys have any suggestions for clips that can be played as a reactionary clip, I didn't play as many this week because I am not at my home setup. I am in just like the fun room of some apartment complex in Nashville. I'm on the road, so I don't have my other monitors. I do have group. Hey, buddy. Where you go? Are you good? Yeah, so good. Boy. We're doing start sits. Yeah. Screw Kenneth Gainwell, right? Yeah, we don't want to play any of that. So next week, I'll get back to playing some more clips. But if you guys have any suggestions for clips that can be played as reactionary ones, I am all ears. I don't love my current crop right now. I'm just, I'm at my wit's end with what to do next, and I'm hitting a creative wall. So hit the like, boys. Yes. Like, subscribe, share, call somebody. Tell them you love them. Tell them you love the stream. Addison has already started. That's right. I forgot that there's a game on right now. So, you know, sometimes you ask a question that, you know, you can't really change what's going on. You just want verification, like that you made the right call. And I'm here to verify you guys all day. So if that's it for start sits, we can get on our merry way. There's football on. You guys have shit posting to do. You've got dogs to walk. You've got babies to feed. You've got boobs to look at. So I want to thank everybody for participating in today's stream. I will get that start sit thread up on Twitter right now. So you can find me at Chuck F. Bass on the old X. And we'll be having a lot of fun here. So I'll get us on our merry way. Good luck today, guys. I love you. Cheers.
I cannot live another day without air conditioning.
Says tomorrow's gonna be hotter.
Hotter?
Like yesterday.
Yesterday? Yesterday you said you'd call Sears.
I'll call today.
You call now.
I'll call now.
Now's the time to save on Sears installed central air conditioning. Get 0% finance charge, no billing, and no payments until August with the Sears charge.